talk too much. I've been living in the basement, trying to make a statement.
So there was this time, right? I needed to smoke and shit. And this was probably, I think this was like freshman year, but I don't exactly remember like what date it was on and like the month and shit. But I didn't have no weed and shit, right? Like I was poor, right? And my mom smokes, right? Or used to at the time. And I just stole some of her weed, right? And if I'm being honest, it was kind of mid, right? Like it smelled like pine, right? Which not really like a good sign, right? But it was all like grounded up in this container, right? Like this black container. I remember exactly what it looked like. It was probably like it was like really small, and it was like it had like a black like base, like the lid was like gray and shit, right? But yeah, bro, when I had like no money, bro, I would just steal her shit like all the time, bro. Like there's like I could tell another story about this, but like there was like this one time, right? Like I was like snooping around and shit, and right, and I probably found like a half ounce, and I just like finessed like a quarter of that shit, bro. Like just like straight stole that shit, right? But back on topic, right? So it was like early as fuck in the morning, and I remember just like looking in this, cause like she used to keep it in like this like cabinet in the garage, right? And I like knew exactly like where the fuck it was. And so I'd grab like a little baggie, right? Like one of those like Ziploc bags that like everybody has and shit, right? Like one of those things that like you can put like sandwiches in and shit, right? So I grabbed one of those, and I probably grabbed like I'd say I probably grabbed like 2 grams, right? And this shit was like not double bagged, and like people like swear by like double bagging like your shit when it comes in Ziplocs. But to be honest, I don't really think it like does much. So like obviously like it's gonna smell a little bit and shit, right? So yeah, like I go to school and I meet up with some friends and shit, and not really thinking anything of like the situation, kind of just like going about my day, right? And I go through my day, go through my lunch, right? And I'm still not really thinking like anything of like me like putting it in this bush. Like I'm not thinking anything is gonna go wrong. Like I'm expecting it to just like be there, and I just excited that like oh yeah like I'm about to go to school, like get off school, and I'm about to go smoke, right? And I go through my day, and the end of the day comes, and on this like trail, like not trail but like where I like hit it, it was like along the side of like this like I wouldn't say main road, but like it was definitely like very populated. Like there was like a lot of houses, and like there was like a lot of cars would like drive by it and shit. To be honest, I think that's where like I fucked up. Cause like when you think about it, like you probably shouldn't just put like drugs like in like a main area where like people go by, right? So I start walking my happy ass to like this bush, and I get to the bush and I get on my hands and knees, and like cause it was like back there a little bit, right? Like I put it like I remember like I like put the bag, and then like I put like a bunch of leaves on it and shit, like and like this very like back end of the bush, right? So I grab it, and I notice that there's nothing in it, and there's like this piece of paper, right? So I'm like kind of tweaking a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like somebody stealing my shit, or like what the fuck happened, right? And I run, right? I run, and I see this kid that I knew, right? And I kind of just he's like, yo, what? Like, why are you running, bro? And I explain what happens, right? And this guy says, "Oh, you might be fucked, homie. Like, you better watch out, dog. Like, I don't know, like, what to tell you." So yeah, I'm like by like this sculpture park, right? And like me and my friends would always like hang out here and like smoke, right? And in my head, I'm like, damn, like I kind of want this note, bro. Like I kind of want to like see it. Like I want to keep it. So like, what do I do, bro? Like being like a fucking idiot. Like, you should never. Crime tip number fucking one, right? Like, do not go back to the scene of a crime. Like, not like a good idea, like at all. So yeah, like I'm low key, like I'm like, bro, my heart's beating, bro. Like I'm like genuinely like kind of nervous. Like I don't want to get a ticket. Like I'm like a freshman, bro. Like I don't need. Like I want to smoke. Like I don't want to have to go through like court bullshit, right? And like land on probation and shit, right? So I'm like kind of tweaking, and I like nervously just like start walking back to this bush, like looking around, like paranoid as fuck, like wondering if people are like looking at me type of shit, right? So I make my way up to this bush and I grab it like quick as fuck, like Jackie Chan, like just straight yank it and I fucking run. Like I swerve in between like these roads and like fucking just never look back. Like I did not like look around me. Like people are probably looking at me like, what the fuck is this kid doing? Like why does this kid have a bag in his hand, like running down the street? And when I think like the coast is clear, right? I open it up again and it says the exact same thing. Like this is blah blah blah, the police department. We have caught you on camera doing da 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 da. Like we'll keep in touch with you. And I'm tweaking, bro. Like I'm like, oh shit. Like what if my mom finds out about this? Like I'm so boned, bro. Like I don't want to go to jail. Like I'm too young. So I make my way home, bro. Like still tweaking about this shit, right? And honestly, like I went like I should have just like switched like my like I would always walk to school, and I'd always go down this road, right? So like the next day, I decide to like walk down the same road. Bad idea. Like if they already caught you on camera doing something, like don't go near it. Like don't be like me, bro. Like that's so dumb. Like you don't want to like get your face like on camera, like around like the crime, right? Cause like I have the same backpack on, bro. Like I'm small. Like it's so easy to like know what the fuck I look like. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro. Like I look up and what do I see? I see a fucking camera, bro. And I'm like, oh shit, bro. Like it really sinks into my head. Like, damn, bro. Like I might go to school, bro, and I might be boned, bro. Like I might be so fucked right now. Like in reality, bro. Like when I think about it, like now, it was probably just some like neighbor that saw me like put it there and like but and just like decided to like scare me and like put like a note in it. Cause like what cop is just gonna like leave a note just like sitting in a bag waiting for you to like go pick up your drugs, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna like obviously like find you and then like look for you cuz like obviously like I'm a student, right? And they can easily go to like the school cop and like say like show them like videos and pictures of like what the fuck I look like, you know what I mean? And like at the time, bro, like I was a very like bad kid in school. Like I would always be up in the office. So like they knew what I look like, right? Like they knew exactly like what the fuck like I am and like what I do and like who I hang around with, right? But yeah, bro, like nothing even like I went to school and like nothing happened. Like I went through my day and like I never got called up to the office. Like no cop was like looking for me. Like nothing happened, bro. Like I was chilling. Like I think somebody just like saw me honestly and just like decided to like freak out some kid, which fucking like worked, bro. Like I was like honestly like shitting myself like when I saw the note, right? So yeah, like I guess the moral of this story is do not bring weed to school, bro. Like not smart, not a good idea. Just don't do it. Just save that shit for like after like your downtime, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get to like it sounds like some bitch shit, but like I'm trying to get to 15 subs and I'll drop something like super fucking funny, bro. Like so just like subscribe to my channel and shit and I'll drop something like hella funny.